right. Hello, everybody at home. I thought I'd stay with this look. It seems to be, or maybe it's too cool for school. I don't know. Oh yeah, we gotta start off each episode this way. Anyways, Hungary, Budapest. It's been fun the first day. Let's have a look and see where we're gonna go the second day. And as I always typically do every time I go into a new city, I always look for the free walking tour. This is the first thing I do on the first full day because they usually start at around 11, 10 in the morning. I get to the point and then the tour starts. So usually about 2 hours. I give about €5 or €10. Depends on how many people are there. The more people there are, the less I give. The less people there are, the more I give. All right, now we're going to have a look at the city itself. And this is really important when we look at any major city. Most of the major cities, the capital city, the biggest city in each country, runs along water. There's a body of water, a river that goes through it. The airport is a little bit further because of the noise that it creates. They're not usually in the middle of the city. Now, luckily with Budapest, it's not too far. So the airport is right here. And it's not too far to get into the city. So the city is just a little ring. So you can look at this, and there it is. There's that ring. And a lot of the action is in the center. So when I'm looking for places to stay, I always try to find the places I want to visit. And after I've created almost like a heat map, then I can figure out, okay, this is where I should probably stay, because that way it's closest in terms of proximity to all the places I want to visit. Makes sense, right? So you don't want to stay over here, and probably over here, because it's outside your heat map. Anyways, we're starting off over here. This is where we're staying. And the first meetup is at the Basilica. And we're going to cross over the bridge, and we're going to head over to Fisherman's Bastion. And that's where we start. Now again, the time that it takes to walk is not very long, which is why a city like this is very compressed. It's very nice. It's not like places in the States, LA, New York is okay, but still pretty big. So it's a lot easier to manage by walking. And the walking in the distance is only maybe 30 minutes to a lot of these places. And you're stopping every 5 minutes because there's something interesting to look at. So from there, we're going to walk back. So then we'll walk up. We'll go to the Margaret fountain, which is right here. And then we'll head back down and we'll jump on a boat somewhere around here. And it'll take us up and down the river. And then we'll end off the night somewhere over here in the Jewish quarters. The city really looks beautiful at night, and it's quite safe. So let's go. All right, so here's St. Stephen's Basilica, and there is the beginning of the tour. I usually show up late. There's about a 10-15 minute buffer. If you go 5 minutes early, you can talk to people. This is a huge group, and she's doing a pretty good job. I don't remember her name. I want to give shout outs. Pretty cool place here on the right side. It's underground, like a mall thing. And this is a lot of cool culture in the city. A lot of young people walking around. Very nice. A lot of old people too. A nice contrast of people. And there's the river. A lot of people in this tour group. They have usually 2 English and Spanish groups. Just follow the flags, and sometimes you get carried away. There's a lot of groups, a lot of free tours. You just got to find the right pockets. So now we're crossing over. There's the Fisherman's Bastion, which has a lot of historic buildings, and there's the river. Beautiful, lots of bridges. You can see them. Not as many as Paris, but still nice. And we're looking at the chain bridge. It's called the Shenji. I don't know. We're walking up, and so yeah, it's a great view from up here. Very nice. And then there's some construction. It's gonna be a nice cafe when it's done. I'm always the last one as I'm just doing stuff. And here we are with the group. I was able to find them again. It's always funny. I always try to find one person that stands out of the group, and I try to find them. That way I can find the group, because I get lost all the time. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm sure it's one of the kings. And here we go. This is the Matthias Church. It's late Gothic style, 2nd century. And it was restored. It was created many times, but restored. So that's why it looks so nice and clean. Lots of monuments. Beautiful area. Lots of people. It's a World Heritage Site, which is also very cool, and it's really well maintained. Again, beautiful, great views of the city, lots of people, and you really get a sense of this kingship. There's a picture I shot, turned out pretty nice. Pretty happy with that. It's nice to have clouds when you're shooting these kind of pictures, and lots of views. Pretty windy too, and I'm on my way to get my picnic food. Lots of selection this time. The bread in Europe is amazing, and it's so cheap. This is what, 60 cents for a piece of bread? And they have just random things in it, so I just grab whatever. I can't read the descriptions, so I just kind of go for it. And I was quite tempted to have a beer, but I mean, it's also very cheap. It's less than $1. But I didn't want to carry it around because you don't want to save that. It's just heavy. So here's another viewpoint from Fisherman's. Great weather. And now we're going to Labyrinth. And it's under the castle hill, and it's part of the Middle Ages, and they used it for all different things. Shelter, prison. They even had some of the concubines hang out down here too. I didn't realize it's quite creepy. It was used as a prison, so I'm sure also lots of crazy things happened. And I walked around by myself. I was pretty much alone for most of it, and I was not. In retrospect, I didn't do any research before I went. But if I did do research, I'd probably be scared, frightened by this place, because I did look it up after the fact, and there's all sorts of ghost sightings and sounds you'd hear, and I was totally alone. Yeah, I mean, there's some parts of this that are so dark you have to use your flashlight on your phone just to see things. I mean, there's some times where I didn't. It was a lot of fun, but. And now we're looking at some of the Roman ruins. This is an old Roman town that was up on the hillside. So very interesting in terms of when it was founded. 2,000 years old, and it was invaded by, at that point, the Germans, and so they just destroyed the city. It's really interesting to see. You can tell that it is a Roman city because of the archways. And yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of rocks, right? It's kind of hard to really fathom what room we're walking through or what kind of place this is, so it's tough. But still interesting. I would love to be able to see this place if I was able to time travel and go back. And so now this is the Buda Castle, and this is also where they have 2 or 3 museums. So the National Gallery is there, and History Museum, National Library. These are all places that, as an academic, I should be going into, but I decided not to. I mean, it was very cheap, but I felt I could use my time more wisely. Anyways, here's the fountain. This is an amazing fountain. One of top 5. Just absolutely beautiful. I just stood there for a while. And just beautiful in terms of the marksmanship and the way that it's positioned and its location. You can look up all the information for it. It's very, very beautiful. And so here is part of the castle as well, and it's massive. Just massive grounds. I'm walking around, and great views. There's a chain bridge again. Some serious PDA there. They shot this. I can't remember what part of the castle was. I do have GPS on, so I can tell where these places are. But still, it was a tough one. So I'm walking down, again, very beautiful. And now is the time where I need to tell you a little bit about myself. So I used to play trumpet. I used to play in a brass band, played for about 8 years in a church. And me and my friends really had fun with it. It was really cool. We not only did we learn how to play a musical instrument and become quite talented with it, we also had great camaraderie. And that whole thing about band camps and buddies and all that fun stuff, it's actually quite true. So I'm a band camp summer kid, and I'm going to... it was hard for me to omit this. If you don't like trumpets and brass music, then just skip 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'm just going to let this thing play. And we'll see you after 2 minutes. Oh, I love trumpet music. reaching over. Got that suntan. Really? Is it locked? All right,
But I heard some noise.
we're super lazy because of this one, and now I'm taking this funicular. Didn't want to do it,
Yay!
but now I'm doing
My
it.
life is awesome. My life
It's
is awesome.
such a waste of money.
My life is awesome.
It costs €4. Don't do it. All right.
Stop
where is this?
complaining.
I always have a comment.
Oh, this is so awesome. I love my life.
Oh yeah, they don't have this in Thailand, huh?
No, we don't even have it. Well,
In
we
Norway?
have it in Norway, we have it. But not in the city outlet.
No.
Not in the main city. In Bergen, we have.
Oh, they have these
No,
everywhere.
Not enough space in my phone. It's so awesome.
You want to say anything?
My life is awesome.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Totally didn't want to do this, but I did it.
This was my birthday present.
And then again, spontaneous things happen, and you got this woman and this music. So here's a case where maybe you are an expert in water fountains. You love them, and you've been to so many of them. And for me, let me just show you some footage. So there's that footage, and yeah, it's hard to then go back and look at this and go, wow, that was really amazing when you saw what you just saw. But anyways, this was still a lot of fun. This is in Margaret Island. The music was really cool, and it's definitely worth going to the island. It's a really nice place to just sit, and it's a beautiful park. 9 p.m. is when this show starts, and it's definitely worth checking out. They have a lot of songs, and we just stay for the whole thing. Yeah, it's definitely better to be there in person to see this than to watch a video. And now we're going on to the boat tour. So it's about €9, €10. I think we paid 15. We got a couple of drinks on the boat.
Wow, look at those fireworks.
And there's these kind of boats everywhere.
Oh my god.
And so it's all the same. And they just take you up and down the river. And I think I'm in love with these evening boat rides. It's so nice to just chill out. You meet some cool people. I met a couple of British folks. And the thing to also know that is when you are on these boats, sometimes in the evening it gets pretty windy and cold. So you might want to bring an extra jacket. And then there's Fisherman's. So beautiful. All right, there's some street food. It was tough for me to find something I liked. The food is not that good because of the thing about the accommodations they have. It's very small and it's quite expensive. And now we're in another ruin bar. This is the most epic ruin bar that I went to, and it's called Simpla. And when it gets really late, I noticed too as I was leaving, didn't stay very long, but as I was leaving, there's more and more crowds of people. So you want to avoid these moments. So around 11:30 to about 1, there's so many people waiting to get in that they end up charging people to get in. And so I would either go before 11 or go after 1. Yeah. And I got a little carried away. I just didn't shoot any video. And so I'm showing you these pictures after the fact, and you can see how eclectic it is. It was the very first room bar to start, and it's massive, and there's just all sorts of random things. Again, it's located in the Jewish quarter, so there's also cheap drinks and surrounding backpackers, and you're not going to meet too many locals, but still, in terms of artists and what you see in terms of interior design, this is a really cool place we're checking out. And so that is another view of Budapest. Hopefully you're thinking, yeah, I could see going here. It's kind of interesting. And so let's have a look at another day of Budapest, and then you can be the judge. Is it worth visiting? Maybe if the flight's $20 or if it's $80, does that change? Anyways, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.